Welcome, everybody. I'm Devon O'Day.
And I'm John Dwyer. Thank you for joining us. We're at the Omni Hotel, downtown Nashville.
It's time for Taste of Nashville. And speaking of the Omni, we're going to go right into our.
I'm gonna hijack the show for just a moment.
That's what he is.
I'm so sorry. Bring it on in, folks. It's not often I've done a lot of things in my broadcast career, but never host a show with a Hall of Famer.
Aww.
I want to make a quick toast to Devon O'Day, a member of the class of 2023, the official Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame.
Aww.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dad.
Michelle's in on this. You were a guest on the show. You had no idea you were going to have a little bubbly. Your dear friend Mona was bringing in on this, but we wanted to share because that is a long time coming, well-deserved, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Woo!
It's a packed show, so you can't thank everybody. But
You know what? Thank you for that. Thank you.
Well,
for that.
you're a class act.
Well, I appreciate that so much. It's been a long time since I was 16 years old at KRRV in Alexandria, Louisiana. I've come a long way since.
The girl's done good.
You know what? This is our Taste of Nashville show, and we bring the best of Nashville to you. I've had one sip. I'm such a lightweight.
You're a cheap date.
I am a cheap date. But this is our country radio seminar special, the biggest event in country music for artists and people in radio to get together. It started out as the DJ convention. Charlie Monk started this, the great Charlie Monk.
Man, yeah.
Started this as the Country Disc Jockey Convention. And now it's Country Radio Seminar. Hundreds and thousands of people come to Nashville with country music on their minds.
It is who's who. It's a lot like CMA Music Fest. It is, born out of being at the state fair. And the people you see, as I see in the hallways and all this, I'm like, I think I know. I've heard that person. So this is good. We have a turnstile on our show today because we're gonna have some great guests, including Michelle.
And our director of catering here at the Omni, Michelle McDuffie, is here with us. And welcome, first of all, because you're the coordinator of all this organized chaos that's down here.
Let me first say thank you for having me on your show. We're so excited to have CRS back this year and to be able to impact the industry. It's such an impactful industry here in Nashville. This is my first CRS, so I'm excited to be here and hear it happening.
Tuesday, I think, is what happens.
The music
right?
is amazing. I get to hear it at my desk, and absolutely.
It is everywhere, but you handle all of the events that do not include rooms. Now, what is that, like galas and things like that?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about what your job entails here. For people who are watching, if you're part of a corporation somewhere and you're thinking about a convention in Nashville, what do you do?
Well, what our office, the catering office, does is we're going to handle those social events, those local corporate meetings, weddings, anything where the event is really driving the commitment. So if you think you're gathering with your family to celebrate, or you have a nonprofit that has a fundraising goal, we're the perfect solution in that we have all this beautiful ballroom space, very flexible square footage, 80,000 square feet of flexible space. So really from 10 to 3,000 we could handle in terms of whether it depends on the style of the food and beverage service. But some of our galas have gotten as high as 1,300 people. So just bearing in mind, we're the solution maker for commemorating occasion or helping you raise your goals for fundraising. And there's 3 of us on the team. We even have beautiful private event space, which we're in today. So if they're not looking for a banquet room, we even have a solution where they can have an extension of an a la carte experience, or just a special venue like Bongo Java or Half Note or Kitchen Note here in Kitchen Notes. We have bar to bar lines. We really have a lot. We have a lot to offer.
A lot of spinning plates for you, and quickly, you must have a wonderful staff and continue to try to find the best and brightest to make sure these go off without a hitch. It takes a team.
It does. It takes a very anticipatory team. So when we're we're going to really uncover what's important to you in the sales process. So with catering, we're unique in that we sell it, we service it, and then we turn it over to our very competent operations team, so banquets and culinary, very invested in making sure we exceed your expectations. That's really the goal here.
I gotta just step right in here because we have talked to your chef for catering.
Sure.
And we got to do a tasting here on a few shows back. Remember that? Okay, there's some places you go, it looks like they go to like one of those Play-Doh machine things with food, and all the things, they have different shapes, it's real pretty, but everything tastes the same. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all, you will write home about the food that you get at an event at the Omni. It is so, so, so good. And even where we're sitting right now, earlier today, because it is Country Radio Seminar, you actually had a breakfast meeting in here. Mm-hmm. You had that meeting, and then you turned it, and now it's a TV studio. So you guys know what you're doing here at the Omni.
We are a very busy, exciting, just really fun to be in hotel. We are making memories in every square foot. We enjoy it. It's what we do well. The food is, we always get exceptional reviews. So you think you go to a banquet and it's going to be just any entree that you're thinking you've experienced.
It is no rubber chicken here. No rubber chicken.
I wasn't going to say it, Devon, but you're right. It's no rubber chicken.
We call it the rubber chicken circuit. It's not. They do not have the Omni on that circuit.
Right. And then we also want to tailor the experience. So tell us what you're interested in planning. Let us offer the solution. That's what we do. We're the event planning experts. We stand ready to help in whatever it is. I tell my team we're the ambassador of all things Omni. So it just, tell us what you're thinking you want to do. We have a full sales team. We have the catering team, private events coordinator. And then we have just amazing ambassadors that take care of the guest room. So,
Michelle, thank you for what you do here. And
absolutely.
Thanks for taking time to stop by.
If you have a charity or you have a gala coming up that you go, where are we going to have it? We're going to have it. Always think the Omni first. Omni Nashville is a place where, whether it's a small charity event and you're trying to fit into a budget, they can work with you. It looks extravagant, but they can work with a budget too. Hey, we're going to be back with some wonderful music. We've got Whitney Miller on the show. She's the only person I know that can bring music and kick your butt at the same time. She's like...
Literally.
We'll find out more about that coming up.
Nice.
Hey, Andy Griggs is on our show. T. Graham Brown is on our show. Lots more. So stay tuned for more Taste of Nashville.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back to the lively Omni Hotel, downtown Nashville, with class of 2023 Radio Hall of Famer in Tennessee, Devon O'Day. I won't introduce you every time like that.
Oh my gosh!
When you sign an autograph, are you going to put HOF now, or like Hall of Famer?
I might just have to.
Yeah, I might just But anyway, very very proud of you. That's why we have the sparkling thing here. But
I have to wear real shoes from now on and not like my farm galoshes.
Don't. You just stay yourself, girl. Busy show, good stuff, a lot of noise. You can hear kind of the ambient noise and so forth.
I know there are so many recording artists here in the Omni Hotel for Country Radio Seminar, and we've got one here with us today.
I enjoyed the pre-interview. Normally we don't get to do that, but a fascinating backstory. And welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
Whitney Miller. How are you, Whitney?
I'm doing great. This is my first CRS, and it is wild out there, but so much fun.
Okay, first of all, if you guys can't get a close-up of her skin, she's got the most perfect skin. We all come in here, and I was like, they use a trowel for me. Our wonderful beauty team from Genesis Career College, I said, our glam squad. She is like, Chris Kulik walked up to her and said, Well, I'd ask if you need makeup, but you like really don't. You know?
Well, I
good.
appreciate it because I did not wake up like this, okay? You should have seen that. Looks very different.
Singer, songwriter, and you're here for your music. But can we talk a little bit? Okay, pageant girl turned MMA mixed martial arts rock star who travels around. You're a champion from around the world.
I started commentating for kickboxing right after I took my fight, and I went to full fight camp in Thailand, which I got my butt beat every minute of every second I was there. And then I did full fight camp under Tony Jeffries out in Santa Monica as well.
Where did that come from? Is this a family? Is this you needed to get out? You had energy that you need. Where did that come from?
It was just my competitive nature. If my family had a choice, I would not be in that ring. I will tell you that much. My dad hated the idea, but when I took my fight, he was right up against the ropes, like, come on! So, and we have pictures of that, so I know he liked it.
That's great. Are you retired?
Oh, yeah. I don't
that?
fight anymore. I train 3 times a week, but just mainly for fitness purposes and just in case anyone wants to mess with me out on the streets.
Don't even think about it.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that the pageant system. Now, you came out of the toughest pageant system in the world, 'cause I'm former pageant too, but Texas. To be a Miss Texas and a Miss United States, to even compete in Texas, it takes a lot.
Well, it shocked me too. I'm not gonna lie. I actually decided to compete in Miss Texas a week beforehand, and
What?
a friend of mine called me. I was a competitive wake surfer at the time, a professional wake surfer, and I was on the lake all the time. And one of my best friends called and said, "Hey, Miss Texas is coming up. Do you want to compete?" And I said, "No, it's just not what I want to do." But as cliche as it sounds, I just knew I was gonna regret that if I didn't at least try. So a week later, I was borrowing dresses and shoes and filling out my bio sheet on the way to the pageant. But I said, I'm just going to be me. I'm not going to try to be someone I'm not. I'm not going to try to, be who they think Miss Texas should be. And if I win as Whitney, I win as Whitney. And it worked out.
She's so nice. I mean, you want to hate her, okay? But you can't. But you can't. Your resume is this long, and we haven't even talked about your singing and songwriting.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you don't hate me, by the way.
No.
I don't hate you either.
Day's young. No.
Right? We're just getting started. You're only on your first drink.
You're doing something really cool. Like every 6 weeks, you're doing a new single.
I am, which every time I tell someone that, they look at me like, girl, you're crazy, which I am, kind of. So yeah, I'm going to release a new single every 6 weeks. My next single that's coming out is called Nobody in a couple of weeks here. After that, we have Go Ahead and Make It, and we're just going to keep going through it.
So your journey to Nashville, you spent most of your life in Texas and Thailand. Tell us about the journey here and why now?
It's time. I think for me, I can look back and say, I wish I would have done this sooner, because truthfully, you can look at my resume and say, oh, she's not afraid of anything. But to me, my biggest fear was singing. I could not sing. It became a phobia for me. And so I think I had to go through all of these experiences to show myself that I could overcome fear in order to overcome the biggest fear that I have, which is singing, and also my biggest dream. So, having your biggest fear and your biggest dream be the same thing is really tough. And
It is, yeah. Stage fright is real. Stage fright is real.
It was paralyzing. And so now is the time, because I'm ready for it, and I knew this is where I needed to be for it. It was time for me to leave my home state of Texas and go full guns a-blazing and not turn back.
Well, how do people find your music? Where can they find out more about you? And do you have any of your social media sites where you're interactive with your fans who reach in?
Oh, yes. I love talking to my fans. If anyone sends me a message, I try to respond as much as I possibly can. I like to know what's going on in their life. They like to know what's going on in my life. So, yes, I will absolutely have all kinds of conversations. Like, we're best friends. But you can check out my website, which is whitneymillermusic.com. And we'll update that with some things. And then social media is Wit in Love, WHITNLOVE. And yeah, you'll see all the goodness there. And of course, we have Diamond Country and 15 Minutes of Fame on all streaming platforms that you guys can jam out to.
Yeah, she has a ton of videos, and you're going to want to see these too. And don't forget, the new single is Nobody, and it comes out shortly after Country Radio Seminar Week. So be sure to watch WhitneyMillerMusic.com for all the Whitney Miller information.
That's fantastic. Whitney, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank
Welcome to
you.
Nashville.
Thank you.
And something tells me that she's going to make unpunny an impact on Nashville. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate
I'll be here all
it.
week.
Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
Hey, we'll be right back. And we have got my Louisiana brother, Andy Griggs, standing by.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Taste of Nashville, our CRS edition, our Country Radio Seminar edition. It's the craziest convention ever.
It done blowed up. I mean, this thing started, years ago, and now it's where you need to be. It's where you mingle and network, and we're right in the thick of it.
And when we were booking guests, I didn't know if he was even involved in CRS, but my first call, I went through my phone and I said, Andy Griggs, if I wanted you to be in town, could you possibly show up? And
he was
here you are.
Super excited to hear, right?
Thanks for the invitation. I haven't done a CRS, I guess, since COVID. But if you think about it, well, we've been in the business. We're not spring chickens.
No.
I'm trying to think. I signed in '98, so I've been doing CRSs since 1998.
Holy smokes.
So yeah, they do go way back. I don't know when CRS actually started. Do you guys?
I don't know exactly the time, but it was in the 70s. Charlie Monk started it as the Country Radio Disc Jockey Convention.
The Disc Jockey Convention. Speaking of disc jockey and just careers that are just never ending and cease to stop, it just gets bigger and bigger. Congratulations. I just heard the news.
Oh.
And man, I don't know if you realize how loved you are. And I'm not saying that because you're my Louisiana sister.
Oh.
I mean, in Nashville, Tennessee, you're one of the most loved people that I know. You really are.
Oh, thank you.
So
I
man,
appreciate
there's
that.
so many hearts that are so proud of you. There's nobody deserves the Hall of Fame, and I agree. She needs to say HOF, by the way, every time she introduces herself. Nobody deserves it quite like you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Andy. I appreciate it. When Andy came to town, he was the homeboy from Louisiana. Monroe, West Monroe, that's our river cities, our twin cities, and we're so proud of you being from there because you came into town, but you brought that Monroe, West Monroe swampness to your music, and you have this wonderful way of singing and writing that is, it was so identifiable right from the get-go.
Well, thank you. I've always said that, you being about 100 miles below Monroe, Alexandria, Pineville, all of that, to me, north from Alexandria all the way to the top of Louisiana, it's not really south as much as it is mid and north, was just one big pot of gumbo to me when we talk about music. So yeah, absolutely. And that's you try to bring that side of you. Everybody has their own story, but you try to bring it into Nashville and roll the dice. That's part of the game.
Well, you, Michael Rhodes, then there Lonnie Wilson, who plays
That's
drums.
right.
He was
Yeah,
bandana, and there are a lot of folks from our neck of the woods. I always said that northeast corner. But what do you think? How has that affected your music, and what was kind of different about your music? Who were some of your influences that brought you?
Well,
singing?
again, growing up in Louisiana, you don't just grow up listening to Merle and George. You're also listening. You have Bob Wills, bleeding in from Texas, but you have bluegrass bleeding in from the east. You've got Louisiana is one of the greatest gospel music states that there is. I'd say Louisiana and Florida. You have your French style jazz coming in from deep south. So from blues I was listening from Jerry Lee to Ozzy to Jimmy Swaggart to Albert King. I mean, so really everybody. If you put all of that together, I guess that's kind of me. I don't know.
That's great. And I understand you brought your instrument.
The old axe, I did. I brought the old axe. I didn't mean to bombard y'all with it. I just happened to have it, you know.
This old thing, yeah.
Don't you let him. I begged him. I said, please play for us because I love the way you play live. And I've watched you on stages, but my favorite way is when you came in the studio, the radio studio, and you and a guitar. It's my favorite way to hear Andy Griggs' music.
Oh, well, thank you.
And before we get you to play, there's a little guy that is also now playing along with you. A brand new addition to your home.
Man, you know what? Life's full of surprises. Even the later, the more grand, right? The surprise. All of a sudden, I have a 1-year-old little boy. I've always wanted that. Named him after my late brother Mason.
Oh.
And our big thing is I sing Kalijah to him, the old Hank Williams. And he stands in front of the guitar, you know, as I sing Kalijah. My world has changed a lot since I've seen you last because of him. And so is yours.
I know, it's true. And I watch on social. I have one drink. Social media. It's here for decoration only at this point. But when you are on social media and Mason joins you, it is the most precious thing.
Yeah.
Fatherhood looks good on you.
Thank you. I have a certain smile I've never had before.
I love that. Would you play something for us?
Okay, I just had to do that.
This is country.
Everybody's walking by going, I wonder who's being interviewed right now. like the Beatles or Elvis is going to be in here.
Well, you're better than Beatles and Elvis. Y'all gonna just about see why. Andy Griggs always has something really cool to share with us.
I got a key to the highway. I'm down and bound to roam. I'll hit the ground running. 'Cause walking away from you's way too slow. I'm going back to the barroom where I'm barely known. 'Cause all you've done, a woman, is make a good boy run away from home. I'm gonna hit the ground running, 'cause walking away from you's way too slow. Thank you. Al, thank you.
Your version of yourself in the 1990s, advice. What would you
Run,
give?
run.
Yeah, what do you know now that you wish you knew, or you're like, that's fine. This tapestry of my career and where I am now is.
I guess I would look at that kid and say, you're the CEO of your music. Don't. Nashville's going to worry about everything outside and try to mold and try to do this. It's their job. Pay no attention to that. And remember what you came here for. You came here for one thing, and that's to share your soul, your heart and soul. I guess that's what I would tell me and anybody else. Somebody just asked me in another interview, said, all these new coming artists, do you have anything to say to them? And I just said, well, always remember why you came, you know, for a soul. If you don't have a bleeding heart and soul, go back home. This town's got 50 million of you. But if you are bleeding, then you've got something worthwhile to offer. There's only one of you. That's kind of the way I see it.
Ooh, that's some good stuff right there. Some good
Well, that's the
stuff.
gospel according to Andy. I don't know.
Speaking of the gospel according to Andy, do you still do your live on social media? It was Monday nights? was
Yeah,
it?
money's at my place. You know, it started during COVID and turned out to, be like a great big family. So yeah, that's my biggest thing on social media is doing Mondays at my place. Yeah, sure is.
And when you order something from Andy, he's like packing it up, mailing it out.
Yeah.
I loved it because and during COVID, you brought us all right into your home.
Yeah,
and,
I did with little deer mounts and all
I
of
know,
that.
I know. I said, the Sportsman's Paradise is in his house.
Yeah. It's good seeing you, Devon.
Good to see you,
And you know
too.
what? Hall of Fame news looks good on you.
Oh, thank you.
Looks good on you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being with us and drove all the way in from Kentucky to be with us today.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Andy.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Stuff.
Oh, stay tuned. We'll be back with Paige King Johnson right after this.
All right.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
We are rolling along. It is a festive week and time here in Nashville, Tennessee with the Country Radio Seminar. And if you hear a little bit of ominous noise, it's because we're just off kitchen notes here at the Omni Hotel, Devon. And so there's a lot of ruckus going on and deals being made and so forth like that. And
It's
we're in
crazy.
here missing it, but
Right outside the room right here, T. Graham Brown is in the building, Buddy Jewell is in the building, Brady Seals is in the building. That's just right outside here, Dallas Remington. And right inside the room with us is Paige King Johnson, one of the newcomers to our country music family. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? This is a good
Fantastic.
setup y'all have in here.
You
it's
know,
pretty
thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
This is pretty
we
good.
don't. Shh, don't tell
Don't tell anybody. I know.
Are you enjoying the week? Or have
I
you started it? Or
am.
what
I
have you
am.
been doing?
So it's just yesterday and today for me. Thankfully, I get to get out a day early, so I'm not
Okay.
going to be as crazy as everybody else. But
Well, we'll see.
Hey, where's home for you? Where do you hail from?
North Carolina.
I was like, where are you people from?
Yeah, North Carolina.
So when you bring in music, are you influenced as much by the North Carolina, the Appalachian bluegrass and gospel sound as
Oh,
everybody
yes.
else?
I grew up, we showed horses my entire childhood. And every single weekend we were at a different horse show. And it always seemed like there were only 2 CDs in our horse trailer. And one of those was Alison Krauss in Union Station. And she's one of my dad's favorite artists. And so we listened to Alison Krauss on repeat all the time. Such good music.
Paige always gives me boot envy. Boot envy. Girl always has. You got the boot thing going on. Have you wrangled an endorsement yet?
I've worked with Old Gringo a little bit on some boots, but
Ooh, I
that's
love me some old gringo.
That's a goal. You can never have too many pairs of boots, honestly. If my husband's watching, you can never have too many pairs of boots.
Has he ever thought? We were laughing earlier before this. When you go, oh my gosh, someone's gotten our card.
No, he's just like, you realize our house is not growing anymore, right? We don't have any more closet space. I'm like, we'll figure it out.
When you buy a trailer just for your boots.
Yes, yes.
when you
I
know.
need a she shed.
Your journey here. Talk about what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in North Carolina. I played music as a child, along with the whole agriculture side of my life. I showed horses and was in FFA and 4-H, and those two things kind of are symbiotic in a way. And so I was raised on the classics in country music, the Lorettas and the Patsy Clines and the Merle Haggards, and that was what made me fall in love with country music, the storytelling and the heart and the soul that was in that. And I just wanted to be able to do that for other people. And I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old. My grandpa gave me a guitar for Christmas, and, you know, just kind of wanted to see where that would take me. I'd been in music, you know, earlier and sang in church, and he saw how much joy that brought me and really kind of encouraged me in doing that. And then the following Easter, he ended up passing away. And so I took that as my sign that music was something that I was really supposed to kind of take by the horns and go. And so I stuck with it and fell in love with it, never looked back.
What was the song that your grandpa always asked you to sing? Grandpas always have a favorite.
Well, he loved all kinds of like good old-timey gospel music. And I'd only really been playing guitar for about 3 or 4 months when he passed away. But my parents begged me to play Stroll Over Heaven, the version from Alan Jackson's Precious Memories album, at his funeral. And that was really the first time I'd ever played out anywhere, was at his funeral. And I did that song for him.
Oh, wow. So I bet every stage you walk on, you think, I'm doing this for Papa.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
So what? Tell us what you got going right now.
So I have a new single at Country Radio. It's called Why God Made Small Towns, and we just released a music video for it on Friday. And we've had such great reactions to it, a lot of really good stories that people have been telling me just from connecting to the music video. And we recorded the music video in my hometown, so we had a lot of fun getting to do that.
Okay, you're a tour guide in your small town. What's the first thing you take people to go see?
There's not a lot to see, I promise.
It's a quick tour.
It truly is. To people like, where you come from? I said, we have 2 stoplights and a McDonald's. That's what we got for you. There's a place actually featured in the music video called the Red Barn. It's a restaurant, and it's where all the old timers go for breakfast and lunch every single day. And it's kind of the focal point for our town for all the locals there. So that would be a place I would take them.
I love it. Where do we find your music page?
You can look on pagekingjohnson.com, anywhere streaming. I have a new album out called Honky Tonk Heart that you can get, and all kinds of videos on YouTube too.
That is fantastic. What kind of advice or what things have you learned early on in your career that you go, all right, I need to stay away from this, I need to concentrate on this?
The whole music industry as a whole.
Other than that.
No, I've been so fortunate over the last few years to be mentored by Pam Tillis, who has been such a huge influence on me as a 90s kid. And kind of having her in my corner now is just amazing. And she's been so fortunate to give me time and mentor me as a woman in country music and what that looks like. And so she's been very nice in kind of helping me navigate those paths and saying, watch out for this and you know, make sure to keep an eye on that. So I'm very, very fortunate.
Pretty good mentor.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm telling
My
you what,
goodness.
an incredible mentor. Pam Tillis, wherever you are, we are loving you and sending you all the love. And she's really bringing on a whole group of female artists that
Absolutely.
she's watching out after. Thank you for your
Thank
time
you
today,
for having
Paige.
me.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Hey, stay tuned. T. Graham Brown in the house on Taste of Nashville.
You say his name, T. Graham Brown?
Well, how were you saying it?
Well, we have a story when we come back.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome in, everybody. It's Taste of Nashville. I am so excited, John Dwyer.
I am so excited when I saw this, and we have, it's a busy show, but I have a past with this gentleman.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, he probably doesn't remember, but T. Graham Brown, my goodness, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome, John and Devon.
Oh, by the way,
we're family at this point.
Oh, I know
so,
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we be in on the conversation? You guys just, okay, no, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, this man, talk about walking in a DJ convention. You now are considered a DJ because of your Sirius XM show, which is cooking, by the way.
Oh, I'm a big shot.
You are. Every time I run into him now, he's got a microphone asking people questions.
I'm having fun with that show.
Are you?
It's real easy. You know, I play live cut. I'll do this as fast as I can. I play live cuts from artists' live albums. Oh. And so I have 6 artists. I do it once a month. They air it 12 times a month. So it's all it's you can listen to. Plus, you can go online on their app and go to On Demand and listen to all the back episodes.
And
so
do this. Promise you, do this.
I'm in the 4th year. So I've done 40-something of them. But anyway, I have 6 artists that I feature their music. And it's supposed to be an hour, but last month's was an hour and a half. So they don't hold they don't hold the clock on me.
Right.
But like for instance, I might do 2 songs from Merle Haggard live at Anaheim Stadium from like 1990, and then maybe 2 of Mo and Joe live at Billy Bob's and jump around. So it's like if you're riding around in your car and you use your imagination, it's like going from concert to concert to concert.
Oh, wow.
And then I always have a live guest. This week I'm doing for next month, talking to Dina Carter. But
oh, wow. Cool.
It's on the Prime Country Network, which plays music from 1980 to 2000. It's in that 20-year period. So I've had, Barbara Mandrell and Skaggs and Tridd and Lee Greenwood and Winona and Tanya and just all Colin Ray and Sawyer Brown and on and on.
Oh, what?
And
It's such a great listen.
So I've had just about everybody. I'm lucky. You know how it is in Nashville where we all help each other out. And if somebody wants you to sing on their record, you do, and vice versa. So if you want somebody to do something, just call them up and ask them. It's real easy.
That's the Nashville way, isn't it?
Yeah, and and the interviews are not really interviews; they're just talking. I don't ask them the stock questions that they always get. I'll ask them something like, "What was the first concert you went to as a kid that really had an effect on you and maybe made you want to do this?" Or, "What's your favorite live album?" Or, "Did you have a good stereo when you were growing up?" Did you have a record collection?
What's your first radio? Do you remember your first radio you ever listened to?
It was a transistor radio. It was a 6 transistor. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was about that big.
Yeah.
It had a little 9-volt battery in it.
And they had a smell. Do you know how transistor radios, you open up that box and they had this smell that was really...
I love mine.
Oh,
and
mine
at
too.
night, I'd be under the cover scrolling through the AM dial, picking up those clear channel stations. And
you try to put your head just hard enough so your parents would check in on you.
Exactly.
You kind of dialed it down a little bit. I had the exact same memory.
Oh, and then they had they didn't have headphones, but they had a little thing with one little thing that would go in your ear. It wasn't stereo. It was before FM.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this real quick. Our paths have crossed before, and I promise you he doesn't remember this. But it was January 22nd, 2000. It was the Jacksonville Landing, night before the AFC Championship game. T. Graham Brown comes in to play a live concert for a pep rally for the Tennessee Titans as they play the Jacksonville Jaguars. It might have been Butch Spirit, and somebody asked me, I was a local yokel sports guy, and they said, would you like to introduce T. Graham Brown? I said, wow, that would be great. So thousands of people have gathered. I have a mild case of dyslexia. I said, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to Jacksonville, Graham T. Brown. And I said, came off, and Bob Mueller says, you did really well. I said, okay, except for one thing. You screwed up his name. Do you remember that? Have you ever?
Well, the thing of it is,
that's every day.
The reason I probably don't remember that is half the time people call me T.G. Shepherd. This has been going on forever.
Well, I don't feel so bad.
So no, don't, because half the time people call me T.G. Shepherd. They call me T.J., I'm telling you, nobody ever gets it right.
Okay.
They call me TJ,
Nice.
T. Ray, TJ Graham, T. Graham Bell, T. Graham,
T. Graham Bell.
T. Graham Nash. Just on and on. Nobody ever gets it right.
I have
So-
lived with that for 23
No,
years.
don't
and
even feel
I feel
bad.
like
No.
am I vindicated a
No,
little bit?
I'm sure I didn't even notice it because people mess it up all the time. So
You
that,
said
I
your
apologize.
confession. Is your heart clean now?
I do. I feel like I'm cleansed.
you can sleep at night
Cleansed.
now.
I can. Thank you.
T. Graham Brown, your music has always been among my favorite. And you know that your gospel record, Forever Changed, is forever in my CD player. Yes, I still have one, and I love it. I love it. I love
Well,
it. But
Thank you.
tell me what's coming up
And
for you.
you know that and Sheila and I both love you very much. And you
Well,
know
thank
that.
Thank you. Y'all, your family. But what's coming up for you music-wise? Are you on the good
Oh,
tour
I got
some?
like everybody in history, I got a new album coming out. But I went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and I cut an old 60s soul record that I just recut a bunch of old 60s soul songs.
Oh, my gosh.
That were originally cut in Memphis and Muscle Shoals. It's called From Memphis to Muscle Shoals, but hey, I got Winona and Dwight Yoakam and Sammy Hagar and Tanya. I got a bunch of Sam Moore from Sam and Dave. I got a bunch of people on it.
I
That's a
cannot
name
wait.
dropper.
So it's
tell
really
ya.
cool. And it'll be out in about probably 3 months. We did a thing with a label out of Los Angeles, and so it's fun, man. I'm doing some movies and right now, believe it or not, somebody called us up and wanted us to write an autobiography of all things.
Well, you should.
Who cares?
Oh,
That was
People
my
care.
first question. But they said, no, we want one. So really, Sheila's been doing it.
Sheila Graham Brown. As Jerry House
Sheila's
used
got
to
the
say.
memory, see. I can't remember anything.
Ruh-roh.
She said, I'm going to sit you down and tell you what a great life you've had. so we're coming up with some good stories. And
So movies, a new record. I will tell everybody there's some really cool things happening in Muscle Shoals right now. There's
Yeah.
a lot of the studios that people are going to do the big live sessions. They're doing them in Muscle Shoals even more than Nashville now because of that sound and what
Yeah.
you're bringing.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. When can we get this record?
probably 3 months from now. Probably June, maybe, something like that.
Well, we
But
wanna
no,
talk to you
Muscle
again.
Shoals is rocking. But you know, I cut my first couple of albums in Muscle Shoals 40 years ago. I cut my first hits, country radio hits in Muscle Shoals. So I've been going down there for a long time.
It is the perfect sound for you. It's the perfect sound
Yeah, it's
for you.
fun too.
I love it. I cannot wait to hear it. T. Graham Brown, how can people find out and keep up with what you're doing?
Like everybody else. T Graham, the guy got a website, tgrahambrown.com, Facebook. All my stuff's under T Graham. Just Google T Graham Brown. It's got everything.
See,
And all our stuff. We did a thing with Time Life Warner, and they put all of our stuff on all the streaming platforms. We're easy to find.
Let me tell you, not a lot of grass grows underneath your feet.
We try not
you
to.
are busy.
We're having fun, man. I'm having more fun now than I ever had when I was having hits. I get to do what I want to do.
praise the Lord for that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, and your voice, I mean, if it could get even richer and it's got that good tinge on the top of it that you just go, oh yes. 'Cause
I'm lucky, man. I'm singing better now than I ever have.
You're
I
singing
don't know
great.
how that works, right? The way I've abused my body and my throat and all over the years.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But
Well, that's what you bring to the party is a great voice, and you sing everything like you mean every word, and I love that about
and
you.
I'm doing what I think God wants me to do, and I'm all straightened out and sober, and I'm having the time of my life.
And look at your eyes. I didn't realize your eyes were that blue. That shirt that's your color. I'm gonna tell you that's your color.
Thank you. Sheila picked it out.
That's awesome. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome. John, thank you
Good
too,
to see
buddy.
you, T.
Don't worry
Graham
about
Brown.
my name. Don't worry about my name ever again.
Well, I don't ever get it wrong because he's one of my favorites, always has been. Hey, y'all, Ty Herndon is in the house, and so stay tuned for our CRS edition of Taste of Nashville, live from the Omni.
Yay! Thanks.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back, Taste of Nashville, with newly crowned class of 2023, the Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer, Devon O'Day, and I'm John Dwyer.
Thank you. You have to say that every single time.
That's what they said I had to do to stay on the show. And I said, I'm easy, I'll do that. But there's a vibe here in Nashville this week, and that could be any day of the week that ends in Y, but especially this time. And you struck gold right here.
I'm telling it is gold to have this voice in our presence. Ty Herndon is with us.
I like how you slid that right on over to me.
I did.
Congratulations. I meant to tell you that as well.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And
Dear friend.
You have been this last year of music, well, actually the last 2 years, because I've been watching the progression of the making of, the writing of, the collection of the right music, going into the studio.
You've had some inside scoop as well. So,
I've been
as
watching.
friends.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
a star. I would get a restraining order if I were you.
I might very well be.
She's on my take the call list. So
I do reach out to you on a regular basis because I love your voice so much.
Thank you, baby.
This new project of music is so heartfelt.
Wow. Well, I think there's a lot to be said. You know, just a few years ago, you know, I didn't even want to be in this business anymore. You know, and it wasn't the business; it was me. I've been doing it a long time because it's not the business, the craft, the art, the gift that was put in me to do this was, you know, I was born with it, and that's the one thing that has been the shining light in my life. But that shining light didn't feel like it belonged anymore. So, and you know, it goes back to I'm a trauma coach now. So, you know, if you need any help, call me. But all this work that was done, you know, I went to Houston, Texas, spent 4 months, just basically putting my blood and bones back together on the inside, you know, and just getting rid of a lot of trauma and old ghosts and just bringing myself back to life. And when it was said and done, I was sitting down with my spiritual counselor because no matter how hard I tried, I was there working on myself, but songs kept coming.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, now I'm not gonna write about that, you know. But I was there to free myself to write about things that were gonna come out of me, as I found out today. Songs like "God or the Gun," "Standing in the Whiskey," people drive 5 hours to come say thank you for writing that song.
Yes.
Because especially for folks that took their lives, and for folks that survived it, the main thing that's come out of this album with songs like that has been thank you for creating a space for us to say their name. Oh. And that's the heavy side of it. Then the beautiful side of it was coming back in with some amazing songwriters that are friends of mine, and also putting celebration of life into this record. With songs like "Till You Get There," which was really good to us this last year, and the new single with Terry Clark, our buddy, "Dents on a Chevy," you know, because Lord knows we got a few, but I'm standing in front of a brand new Chevy singing it, you know. I drive a Ford, but that's all right.
Me too.
Yes. So there's so much to say. It's a little time, but just the. I wouldn't say that. I don't like the word comeback because I think that's because any of us ain't been anywhere.
Yeah.
But we're creating music maybe that has not been out on the radio, and I was terrified to go back out to country radio. Not because they haven't been good to me; they've been great to me. But I was told there's a pasture and that most of us lived in. It's a real nice pasture, great barn, it's just a good buffet. We go, we get shows and we go and work and we do great things. And it wasn't any attitude for me. It's just like, I don't know that, why would we do that? And the answer for me was, okay, as a producer, I had to go in and create, when they said radio single, I'm like, we don't have any of those. What do you mean? You mean actually we play it on the radio?
Yeah.
And the record label was like, this is my first major deal in a long time. They were like, yeah. So I had to go back to the drawing board with Jimmy Thoreau and learn things like what an algorithm is. That goes with the bass guitar that gets on the playlist. You know, I know it sounds foreign, doesn't it? It's crazy, but just also growth for me. And then sitting down and writing a song and going, okay, radio singles. What is?
There's more that goes into it than we ever knew possible. What's it like to work with your buddy Terry Clark? Because I love you both like lunch and jewelry. So tell me, what's it like to work with her?
Well, she's a teacher. You know, you end up in a place where you have a lot of really cool things to say, and she's a friend that tells you the truth always. And so,
yeah, don't ask her if you don't want to know the answer.
Exactly. So, when Dents on a Chevy, there's only 2 songs on the album that I didn't write, but I needed the radio singles, and I needed some really cool songs that celebrated life. And so, I found this, and I called her. I said, "Let me play this song for you," and because we've been wanting to do this for 20 years. And 2 seconds later, she called me. She goes, "This is the song. Yes, let's do it." She goes, "I think it talks about friendship. It talks about just 2 peas in a pod." And the video is hilarious. We had so much fun. It's definitely our goofy side. It's been 20 years since I put on my lid, my cowboy hat. So I got my lid on for the video. And she's an incredible person. You know, I've got a lot of friends on this record. You know, from Emily West to Wendy Moten. Just as a Wendy Moten, Shelley Fairchild. Yes, Wendy Moten almost outsang me on one song. I was like, "Girl, could you turn the talent down? Just a hair."
When you have Wendy Moten anywhere in the room with you, you better make sure you have your A game on with you.
Yeah, just never tell her just to do what you want. She took a little song that's my Alanis Morissette angry song about past relationships. Basically my new version of cheating songs. And I said, just from the second verse out, just do you. And we were all sitting there, and it was in one take. I just want you to know this, folks, just if you're sitting around the studio. And she walks in with a beautiful fur scarf on, you know, and she had her hair like Whitney. I said, okay. After she sang, I said, next time, don't come in here with curly hair. Because she curled all our hair. That's what she did. It was amazing. So if you hear that, if you listen, if you want a moment on a record that's just pure cheesecake, then just listen to that song. I'm going to say it for you is the name of the song.
I'm going to say it for you.
Yep.
Ty, first of all, thank you for all you're doing for love in this world. You carry the banner of love for everybody, and
thank you.
And if you go to a Ty Herndon show, you're gonna leave loving better.
Amen.
That's your. If you have a calling in this world, it's to have people love better.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that all starts with loving yourself, big time. So
yeah.
You know. And your mama, of course.
And your mama.
Yeah, she's doing great, by the way. She's back. She's sassy as can be.
Oh, that's good. I wanted to ask about your mama, how she's doing.
She's doing great. Yep.
Well, you got positive vibes. You feel like you've got, I don't say reborn, but you've got this next chapter of your life is you got a smile on your face 24/7.
Thank you, man. There's new teeth. I just paid for them. That's good. No, man, I'm happy. You know, I get to work with a lot of cool kids out there. I get to just kind of pay it forward because, you know, mental health is not a dirty word. You know, we all go through some tough times. Actually, and I think we've kind of rebranded the word sober because I have a T-shirt now. It's online. It says sober on the front. On the back, it says "and I'm fun, damn it."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We got another one that's coming that says sober. Don't call me for a ride. I mean, I'm not your. Right. I got that wrong. Something like that. I can't. I didn't create it, so I don't know.
Well, I just thank you for being so open about the need for us to take care of ourselves mental health wise, because the last few years have been tough on everybody,
yes.
Even more than we even realize. And sometimes we've developed little things, and everybody needs a little tweak every now and then.
Absolutely.
And it's important. And for those people who are watching, I want to say that if you are in trouble, it's easy to call. It's 988. If you are having trouble and you need some help,
Glad you know that. Yes.
I'm just going to say that right now because someone's
988.
watching right now. 988. It's easy and it's nationwide for the suicide prevention hotline.
Absolutely. You know what I call it?
What?
I call it Botox for the soul.
I mean, I knew you would have the outline. That's so great. The Ty Herndon, everybody.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you for
Thank
being
you, guys.
here.
Absolutely.
This is our CRS special for Taste of Nashville. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Your show. Go.
Y'all, we have had so much fun today, and it still continues. Every time we do Taste of Nashville, it's way different than I do my daily show because I have the Glam Squad from Genesis Career College. They put on my eyes for me so I don't turn into like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I mean, it's awesome what they do. And now we're going to talk to the Chief Operating Officer of Genesis Career College.
Yeah, this is Shannon Beeler. Shannon, thank you for being here, first of all.
Thank you
and
for
all
having
the all the help that you give here, the time that you donate and have on this show. Your crew always smile on their face, and they put in a lot more time than people know to make us look as good as we can.
I know.
Well, they try.
See, that's the best. They try really hard.
I'm teasing.
Only what they can work with. Yeah. No.
You know, I've watched, and artists who come in, and they're always so grateful to see you. But talking to the young ladies and the young men, I'm sure that you have that go to Genesis Career College, when they show up, what are some of the things that you offer there for them as far as a career? Because I think that's really important. You're not just saying, we're going to get you a whole bunch of credits that you may not be able to use. You literally have things they can use and go walk right out and get a job.
Absolutely, and that's our goal for them. And we tell them we are enrolling graduates, not just students, because our goal is for them to graduate and start working in the field. So everything that we offer are really based in that. So we offer cosmetology, esthetician, we offer master barber, nail technician, massage therapy, medical assisting, dental assisting, HVAC. So we're really looking for those skills that students can take with them or graduates and start working right away, even at that entry level, so they can actually have a skill that no one can take from them.
Part of the problem with and the challenge of getting this next chapter of the pandemic is to get people employable, to make them. They may have a skill, a passion, a trade, but they must be able to not only get and have a career, but retain that career.
Right.
So that's got to be part of the whole package here, right? Not just the physical doing the task.
Right. We want to set them up for success because going to school is one thing, but actually implementing that and doing that. That's why a lot of our hands-on things that we do, we have clients come in that they can get services done at some of our locations. We also go out into the community to try to do different things to help, let the word be out and to help make people feel better or to help their health. And then we also do things where they work out alongside a doctor or in a dental office as part of their schooling. So they're ready to go. They're ready to work.
Are there scholarship opportunities available at Genesis Career College? Some of the state programs and things. Are there some things that people can take advantage of?
We offer financial aid like to any traditional university or community college, so that financial aid is available to those who qualify. Mm-hmm. And if there's any other type of scholarships or availability, any type of thing like that, we can help research for the student and work with them.
How did you get through COVID? Did you do a lot of online, or do you have to go to the physical campus? Or explain that to me.
So we actually did a lot online. We all transitioned. I think your whole education community, as we all know, kind of transitioned to that online and really tried to incorporate a lot of what we have available. We have a lot of technology now with videos and different types of Teams and Zoom and all the different types of things that we could interact with one another. It's nothing like being in person, but it definitely got us through that piece of time. So,
You know what I think is so important? There's always this, I watch friends along the way, and these young parents go, I've got to save for my kids' college. I've got to save for my kids' college. And I want to say the importance of a trade school, as it were, to teach something that will really equip them to do something out there is so important. And I always say that is something that every parent needs to think about. When your child is saying, I don't want to go to college, but they show acumen in something else, that look at Genesis Career College, look at your trade schools, look at that, because that really equips them to do what they are called to do.
Right. I think, sometimes as parents, you want to try to give your kids something maybe different than you had, or make sure they're on the right path, but you're going to listen to their path and what they want to do. And oftentimes, especially with these career fields, they have a passion. They want to make people feel better. They want to work with people. They want to be part of something more and have a career, not just your basic job. They're kind of ready for that.
Career, but there's good money. There's good benefits out there. There are jobs to be filled, not only in Tennessee, but nationally. So if you're good at this and you show up for work and you have a passion, you can, the days of, dare I say, you and I working up the, from small station to everything else, I mean, you can have success pretty early on if you just keep your head on straight.
You're absolutely right. And that's the wonderful thing about it, is you can walk right out and start your career. So,
well, speaking of how they start their career, starting at Genesis, where are the campuses around Middle Tennessee that we can tell people about?
So we have one in Nashville, close to the airport. We have one in Lebanon, Tennessee, and we have one in Cookeville, Tennessee. So we're kind of right across that 40 corridor there. So,
and if they're interested, if this is scratched an itch for people, how do they get a hold of you, or where do they find you?
genesiscareer.edu is a perfect way to look at our website and find out more about us, which location and what programs we offer at each location, and we'll be happy to send you some information.
What I have learned about the students that I've gotten to work with is there's so much joy in what they do. And from coming here to Taste of Nashville, we've had artists that hire them then to go out and do their music videos and things like that, which I think is really cool.
Isn't that amazing?
And it says so much about the quality of teaching that you have at Genesis.
We really are, all of our instructors have worked in the field. So when you're looking at some of these career fields, they've actually practiced. They know what it's like to be working in the field. So being able to have that guidance as a student from someone that's really been there is huge for our students. I think that helps them along the way.
Well, Shannon, thank you for being part of what we do. Give us the website so if they want to get information.
It's genesiscareer.edu.
genesiscareer.edu.
Part of the fun part about coming here is just the team back there, because they seem
They're
to
pretty
have
great.
They seem to have a great time, and they've been a great support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
What a show! I'm exhausted.
all right.
Because this has been so much fun.
It has been fun, and this is just getting things started for Country Radio Seminar Week. It's incredible, and the Omni is where it is, and there's a lot that you can go to because they have taken over some of the bars, like Bar Lines, and I know that one of the record labels is going to be doing shows all day into the night. So even if you don't have a ticket to go to CRS, you can come to the Omni always and take advantage. And you walk through the lobbies here at the Omni during this time of week, you're going to be rubbing shoulders with all the stars of tomorrow, stars of yesterday, and stars of today.
That's great information, and that's coming from an HOF.
Oh, stop.
One more time.
And lastly, a thank you to all of our friends and our glam squad at Genesis Career College, and to Carrie Kulik, who brings them all together here each and every month. This is a joy to have you with me, Mr. John Dwyer.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Always have fun. You make it easy, and it's been fun.
Main Street Media Television. Make sure you get the app. It's free, and you can watch everything we do. And join us next month for another Taste of Nashville.
See you then.